I was the second of 5 children. I have a brother who's a year older than me. I've got 3 brothers and 1 sister. We're reasonably close. We don't contact one another all the time, but we do get together. And my father was self-employed. He was a glazier. He had a glass and mirrors shop with his brother in Rathmines in County Dublin, and my mother looked after us, but worked from time to time. She worked as a shop assistant, and I think when I look back on my childhood, I think I had a pleasant upbringing, good parents, friendly and fighting brothers, and a sister who used to tell my dad everything we did and get us into trouble, which I've never forgiven her for. But Dublin back in the 70s when I was leaving school wasn't a very nice place. So my memories of Dublin, when I think back and people talk about, it'd be great to go back to the way Dublin used to be. My memories of Dublin back in the late 70s was a dirty, dull, and very rundown city. So again, like Belfast, a city that has been totally transformed in the past 20, 25 years. The 3 schools I went to were all on Griffith Avenue. So the Christian Brothers, Sculwera Marino, and then Ord Scoil Rís. My education was pretty good. The Christian Brothers were tough, and certainly when I was there were still a few of them involved in teaching, and some of them were interesting characters. But my education was good. I think I was a good student in that I didn't cause any problems, but I wasn't a diligent student.
Was education important within the family?
Yeah, for my parents it certainly was. They encouraged us to enjoy our education, and there was no pressure on us, but I did feel a little bit of pressure coming up to the leaving certificate. But that's principally because I had planned to go to university, and I was keen to make sure I got the grades to get me entry into Trinity College, was the university that I had applied for.
You were waylaid though.
Yeah, it was very interesting, and people often ask me, how did I get into the airline industry? And this is a true thing about my career, because when people ask me for career advice, I say, I'm absolutely the wrong person to talk to, because I've actually succeeded in getting to where I am without ever applying for a job. So in all of the jobs I've had, I didn't actually apply for them, and I think there is a message in that, because I meet people who map out their career and plan X, Y, and Z and how they're going to get there. I got involved in Aer Lingus originally, so 1979. I don't remember, there was a very long and bitter postal strike in Ireland back then. I think it went on for about 18 weeks. And Aer Lingus put an ad in the newspaper to say, because of the postal strike, we may not have received your application. So anybody who is interested can just turn up on the day to do aptitude tests. And one of the guys in my class saw this and thought, geez, this is a great way of getting a day off school. So everyone in the class went to, it was Liberty Hall. We all went to Liberty Hall to do aptitude tests, which went on for about 3 hours. And of course, we went in the morning, did 3 hours of aptitude tests, and then didn't go back to school. So I was 17, I was still in school, and I think I was surprised to get called for an interview on the back of the aptitude tests that I did. People say to me, should you go to university and then go into business, or you should get a job and then go to university? I think either way is good. I think what university does is it gives you a framework. It enables you to operate with different skills that you wouldn't have if you didn't go through that formal education. I think it also gives you confidence. I think from an employer's point of view, I'm very respectful of what Aer Lingus did, in that they recruited me based on aptitude rather than based on my educational qualifications. Because 17, I'm in school. I actually was offered the job before I had completed my leaving certificate. So I had a job offer from Aer Lingus as a trainee pilot, subject to me meeting the basic educational requirements. And that to me, I think that was great, that they saw aptitude in a person and recruited. So when I look at people, when I'm recruiting people, I don't automatically go to see the university qualifications and use that as the reason why I would interview people. So I still look for aptitude in people when I'm interviewing them.